Hello and welcome to my altar. My name's Hollis Bailey. I'm the founder of Surrender to Remember. It's a public Facebook group. If you're not already a part of it, go ahead and hop in there. That's where I share the majority of my offerings right now. That's the platform I use most. I also have a monthly spiritual mentoring group for a very minimal cost per month, where I share workshops around a theme. This is April. We're going into radical self-responsibility, and then all of the other tools in there, the meditations, the yoga practices, the channeling sessions, the astrology reports, the ceremonies, and the coaching calls. It's all around, and the meditations that I share, that's all for integration. So this is what I'm going to share with you this morning. I'm bringing you into my integration ceremony for the day. So I have been working with psychedelic medicines for a really, really long time. This does not have to be integration based around psychedelics. I'm just using my experience this weekend and then my integration process this week to share with you in this video for the purposes of teaching you some integration tools and insight. This has been a long time for me working with medicines, being on a healing journey, and I'm just more recently in the last few years, it's come to my attention as I've gotten more interested in bringing this into my work with my clients and my practice in terms of how do we integrate? We can have a massive healing experience on a massage table, or even just meeting someone we're really inspired by, or by having a huge fight with your partner, or by having a traumatic experience, or by having a psychedelic journey. So all of these things that happen in our lives that shift something inside, when we're conscious and aware of them, the integration process is really important so that we can anchor those shifts and changes and healing processes in our whole body so that we grow and we evolve, okay? So the integration piece has been something I've been practicing consciously and experimenting with, to be quite honest, because there is information out there about it, but it's different for everyone. So I offer tools to all of my clients in my community, and take what you want and leave the rest. So personally, this morning, I'm going to show you a little ceremonial practice that I've been doing to work with my integration process this week. This last weekend, I basically, just to set you up, just to explain, to give you an idea of what inspired me to set up the weekend that I did. I've been taking a course called Remember through a company called Earth Pulse. And I will be teaching this course in the coming months. So I'm taking this course, and we've been, it's a deep dive. It's a deep dive into our psyches, our emotions. A lot of purification, a lot of healing has been happening. And last week we worked on divine self-worth. And I just had this download in a meditation when the meditation guide asked, what would your life look like if you were already worthy, if you already had enough you had, if you already just decided that you didn't need to strive anymore, didn't need to heal anymore, you were already just whole? What would it look like? What would your life look like if you were already there? And it was so beautiful, because I've had this thought many times before, but because of so many of our conditionings, we do continue to heal and work on ourselves from a perspective of that we're not already healed, that we need more, that we're not already worthy. So this was a great mindset shift for me, and a really powerful meditation. And after writing that down, I just decided to set my weekend up that mirrored that vision. Aside from living on the land in a community with my future daughters yet to be born. So that's all coming. But what came through was, I would be dancing and I would be playing, and I would spend all my days creating and doing the things that I love to do. It doesn't mean I don't put intention in still improving myself and evolving, but from the perspective of just what more can we do? What more can this life look like for me? I'm already worthy. I'm already enough. I already have everything inside of me. Actually, everyone has everything inside of them. And it came really clear by having experiential glimpses of this, mostly through my psychedelic experiences and some through meditations, and with Cacao, of actually finally starting to feel that bursting open of love from within, the coming out, if you will, of the infinite possibility, of the infinite love, of the infinite soul essence that we are, of the infinite energy. But I was always searching for it on the outside. And so through my work, it's coming full circle to now that I continue to look for it from within. So this last weekend, I set myself up to do this journey. Saturday was a cacao ceremony, followed by a psilocybin journey in combination with this sound lounge massage experience. So this, the massage therapist, whose name I will share all of his information in the comments below, basically has this frequency pad on a massage table. So it vibrates all of your cells and then sets you up with basically a blackout mask and speakers. And so you're fully immersed in this sound journey with the vibrations, with the massage, and combined with the microdose of psychedelics and the cacao, which is so heart-opening, which I'm going to share with you my integration process using cacao this week in just a moment. But it just really opened up this energy flow, and it was very tantric and very respectful and very sensual. And I, when I knew something shifted, not to go into all of the details, but I actually did have a very clear vision of that. There was a shaman over me covered in feathers. I couldn't tell if they were female or male, it didn't matter, but he was shaking his rattle and really just shaking up the stuck energy and emotions in my right side. And I had emotional expression, and I laughed out loud, and I felt my body move and tingle. And so, it was just a beautiful healing experience. And then Sunday, I went into a Bufo ceremony and followed that with another cacao ceremony and breathwork session. So I really did this deep dive into, and my intentions were to shake up any of the existing emotions within me that were blocking me from absolutely 100% without a shadow of a doubt in my being, knowing that I am already worthy. So shake up the stories, shake up the emotions, get it out. Those were my intentions going into this weekend. And just allow myself to live as if I am already that way. It was an incredible weekend. Needless to say, I had, the Bufo ceremony was the deepest one I've ever done. It was very beautiful because I got to actually use my own body. I got the wisdom to use my own body to remove the shame. There was more shame in there. There was guilt. There was fear. Mostly it was the feelings of shame and guilt. And I just used my hands and was able to remove it and expel it. And afterwards, there was a very beautiful part where, to share the magic and why I love Bufo so much, there was this very beautiful part. I was able to go into a deep meditation and was able to call in the soul of various people in my life and have a conversation with their souls, my soul to their soul, inquiring about our soul contracts here. And it was just so beautiful. And I really haven't got that message up until now. So it was a beautiful experience being so connected and so aware and so conscious and so clear at that point that I was really able to ask questions without any expectations. So it was a beautiful experience. But afterwards, my body did have this empty space. That's where the integration comes in. So through a series of just intuitive thoughts, I think about this all the time, and also I experiment on myself using various integration techniques. But with this new real belief system, identity that I'm trying to establish and integrate deep into my body, of not needing to get any better, not needing to do any more healing, accepting that I'm already whole, healed, complete right now. The rest is just fun and playing with the universe. And let's see what we can do with this power, with this worthiness, with this love. in the world. And so with that, the breathwork session actually gave me a lot of insight as I was in it into how to structure my week. And what came through was just continue to do what you're doing, not necessarily with the psychedelics. I could or could not include those in my week, but I've been dancing a lot. I've been creating. I've been writing a lot. So I've actually been working, but from a place of enjoyment and just pure no results or expectations in mind. I've just been writing because I like to write and I want to share my stories. I've also been using the medicine of cacao a lot this week. And I'm gonna show you my ritual because I'm about to go into a meditation. The meditations that I've been doing, and let me just bring it back to my initial, because I wanna share two really important points about the integration process that I think are very important for anyone. Now, the way this looks to you is going to be unique to you. But I think the two most important things to remember after having these deep shifts, whether it's a medical surgery or, a massage that shifted something, or deep psychedelic experiences like I had, when something shifts, it's important to replace it, to not just go back to your life and continue to doing the same things you do. And I also think it's very important to, at that point, at least give yourself 3 to 5 days and stop working on yourself, because that feeds the story of that more needs to be done, that you're not already worthy, that you need more in order to be whole, to be fulfilled, to be complete. And it kind of, really feeds that story of not enoughness. So I've been approaching that week with these two things in mind. The number one thing I want to make very clear is it's important to relax. Now, relax doesn't necessarily mean sit on your couch all week. If your body's tired, absolutely do that. My relaxation has been going swimming in the ocean, has been surfing, has been taking more walks in nature, has been sitting down and doing meditations, but I haven't felt tired. I've actually felt incredibly energized this week and incredibly on fire. So, but I have been doing everything with full permission to relax when needed. I've been going to sleep early and having incredible dreams. Last night I woke up at 3 a.m. with a huge download that came through. So I think journaling is also important, but just really know that it's important to give yourself time and space to relax. And then the second thing to weave into this, like I've already said this without actually saying it, but is just self-care and taking care of ourselves. And in the way that I've been doing it this week, it's been based around things that just give me pleasure. Now, I don't have to be connected. Don't force yourself to be connected or expect yourself to be connected to joy and pleasure and high frequency all the time. But do things that really honor you and what you enjoy doing. So for me that week, that's looked like dancing and listening to music versus filling my head full of podcasts and new information and what's the next step and already planning my future ceremonies. It's just been like, okay, let's relax into this. Let's consciously fill this space. And I'm pointing towards my right side because that's where I removed a lot of shame and guilt and those stuck emotions. And so I've just been consciously in almost everything I do, whether I'm in the kitchen cooking or whether I'm sitting in a meditation or whether I'm going to drink cacao, which I'm still going to get to. I've been doing it with the intention of filling this space in with love and worthiness and, I'm enoughness, a sense of security and safety and joy and fun. And that's how I want my reality to be. I'm very clear on that. So yeah, it takes some time. Time really doesn't matter. We continue to evolve and continue to do our processes, and life isn't always going to be 100% joyful, free, and fun. But now that the space was cleared up in me, that I removed a lot of the blocks to what was preventing me from connecting with those emotions, I am able to fill it up with all of these medicines that it's just so simple. It's just so simple. Instead of spend an extra hour worrying about planning your week, why not spend an extra hour dancing? And for so many of us, this is going to not seem like the right thing to do because it really is breaking down a lot of our patterns and behaviors. I've been practicing this for a long time. That's why I'm making this video, because I finally feel like this week of my integration has been so deep. Like, I am never, ever, ever going to go back to the level of unworthiness that I believed in, that I had in me, ever again in my life. It's done. It's over. It's gone. I've replaced it with love and worth and allowance and surrender and God and the universe and connection. And those were all of the things that were blocking me from believing I was worthy before. So this is the power. This is the power that these ceremonies can have, that this process can have. And so let's get to the integration process. So the reason I thought to share this with you is because this has really been a powerful piece of my integration this week. I've been using cacao medicine. I just got this delicious cacao, which you can't really see unless I like spilled my cup over. But I just prepared a cup of cacao with some raw cacao, some piloncillo, which is molasses, and a little bit of coconut cream. So I have my cacao. I'm setting the intention, and I'll show you how I've been doing that. But really drinking this with the intention to open me and receive. Open me to receiving from the universe, from the sounds, from the love, from the energy. I'm open to receive the love and the worth and the connection. And I'm going to drink this cacao like medicine. So I will drink this and consume it within, probably a 10-minute period. So like medicine. Otherwise, sometimes I drink cacao all day long. Just right now I'm going into a deep quantum meditation. And so I'm doing this with the intention of opening up, totally opening up to receive all of the God energy that is available in this present moment. And it's always available to the nth degree in the present moment. And that's what I'm doing right now as part of my integration process this morning. And following this, my plan is to come out of that meditation, perhaps do some movement if I feel like doing some movement, perhaps go on a nature walk, nothing planned, nothing set in stone, and then sit down at my desk and write and see what comes out. So create. And this week has been the most powerful integrative process I have ever been through. And let me just tell you one example. I know this video is going on forever, but I have a lot to share, and really it doesn't matter. This is my video. I can share whatever I want. But I did have a really powerful experience that was a testament to that. I've had many. And when I talk about powerful experiences that are testaments to my growth, in my case, I'm primarily referring to the mirrors in me, which in my case are my partner and my family of origin, who have always been my best teachers because they've brought out the most intense triggers in me. When we have triggers, that's when we know that there are suppressed emotions that are still needing to be seen and heard and felt. So that's what, just to put in a pitch for my mentoring group. Again, $33 a month. It's so affordable and it's so worth it. And the whole world needs this work right now. And that's what we're working on in the April theme is integration. Using triggers and mirrors and using how to process those, and then teaching integration tools so that they actually start to integrate and your triggers get less and you have actual growth. So going back to what the story I wanted to tell, my mom, who's just an incredible woman, she really is. She has the biggest heart I've ever known. She's the most loyal person I know. She's the hardest worker I know. And she and I have been working on our relationship for a long time. She's my best teacher. She's one of my biggest triggers. And so she was with my daughter yesterday. She was watching her, and I heard something. She was changing her diaper, and I heard her say to my daughter, because she was kind of fussing and kicking around, "You're hurting my feelings." And in that moment, I just had this huge wave come over me, which before would have been a big trigger. Ooh, we would have fought. I would have lost it. I would have went into fight, flight, or freeze. And I just had this wave wash over me that was pure love and compassion and understanding for her and me as that little girl, because it all made sense. Now, I've been over the stories many times as to why I didn't learn the tools to process my emotions and why I tended to take on everyone's emotions. As empaths, that's what we do. If we're not taught when we're young, or until we're taught, basically, we continue to work from the conditioning. My conditioning, not the fault of my mom, probably not the fault of my grandma, really doesn't matter where it came from. This has probably been going on for generations and generations and generations in my family. They just weren't taught the way that I have learned, which is we are responsible for our own emotions. No one in this world can cause us to feel a certain way. We are responsible for our own emotions. Yes, you can get triggered into anger. Yes, you can get triggered into grief. Yes, you can have horrible things happen to you. But the way back to empowerment and true soul evolution, this is all about what I teach about with my clients, and this is the focus of the month on April, is becoming radically self-responsible and just stop blaming and shaming everyone for your emotional triggers. So it was so beautiful because I heard her say this and I reacted in a way that I didn't even know what was happening. This wave came over me. It was almost like something came into me. And I just walked over to my daughter because I didn't want to make a big scene. And I quickly said, "Don't worry, you haven't hurt grandma's feelings. It's okay." Mended that statement. No fear at all in me, mind you. And I had so much fear around this transition into motherhood that I was going to essentially ruin my daughter. I had so much fear in me because of the emotions that I was carrying around still, that I was going to condition her in a way. And so anyway, that's a whole nother story, but it was just so beautiful to have this thing happen that once would have triggered me into a variety of options of emotions, either anger or rage, resentment. My thoughts were always like, I need to get out of this family. This is so fucked up. Like not trusting my mom with my daughter, all this crazy stuff that comes in when we haven't dealt with our suppressed emotions. And because I have done this work and because I just had this huge experience getting even more at the root of those core wounds, and integrating the knowing that I am not responsible, no one else is responsible for my emotions. I had this opportunity to watch this before what would have been a huge trigger, me step into it with so much grace and so much ease and so much trust and in so much love and compassion. When we got to the car, we were on our way out of the house, and I've had this moment where I really did just sink in and send my mom so much love. And I love the ho'oponopono. I don't know if I ever say that right, but I love you, I thank you, forgive me, I'm sorry. I just had that running through my head this whole time. And it wasn't the time to get into a conversation with her, and I get to have that conversation with her and explaining how I would like her to talk to my daughter from here on out, and even explain who I am and what I've learned over this period of years of doing this self-work. And it's going to be a beautiful healing experience, deeper than I ever imagined possible for our relationship. But it was just such confirmation and testament to that this really does work. When you open yourself to healing, when you surrender, when you start to do the reframing, mindset, emotions, all of whatever you do. I prefer psychedelics and doing work in between, but that's my journey. There's so many ways there's so many paths to get home, to remember this in us. But it's just that's such testament to this work and that it works, because I don't ever have to hate again. And that was my MO for a really long time, because I had stuffed all my emotions. I had become a believer of that I was responsible for everyone's emotions. And you can just imagine of the years that I went through in thinking that I was hurting people and feeling guilty and feeling that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't lovable, that I wasn't able to give enough love. Anyone around me who I saw and heard feeling, I would take that on because I didn't want them to feel that pain. That's just the nature of an empath. It's just the nature of an empath and a sensitive person. And by the way, everyone on this planet has been upgraded to empath, so none of us are immune to this. Some of us just tend to be a little bit more sensitive than others. But, you know, and then I went through my process of learning how to heal that. And now I don't ever have to go back to those emotions. Not saying that they won't be triggered, but they certainly aren't at the depths. I don't hate, I don't resent, I don't blame, I don't shame anymore. I just had an immediate reaction to love and compassion and understanding, and started sending love from my being to hers, and just watched this energy transpire that was so different than anything I've ever experienced in that situation. Okay, long story. Let's get into blessing my cacao. I'm not going to take you into my meditation with me, but this is a really fun way to, and just an idea, you know, take it or leave it. If this resonates with you, great. For me, it's play. I get to play with my instruments. I get to play with sound. I get to play with energy. I get to bless my cacao. I get to put intentions into this incredible plant medicine that has been helping me just open up and receive and give, and just making me like so connected to everything in my life on a deeper level. And then I get to share that with you. So here we go. With these feathers, I send you my love and I send you my gratitude. I bring the animal kingdom in, the sentient beings, the especially sentient beings. The cetaceans, the dolphins, and the whales have been so present in my life this year. I invite their medicine to connect with you and work through you to bring me any messages that they have for me and to allow me to be a messenger for them if they so choose to use me in that way. I invite the winged ones in who have been so present in my life in 2021 in a way that I have never been connected to the winged kingdom. The eagles, the hawks, the eagle hawks, the vultures, the cardinals, blessing them and thanking them for their medicine. The owl medicine of my dear friend Andrea, I bring that into today's ceremony. The hummingbird medicine, it's my dear friend Lori's spirit animal guide. I bless you with all of the winged creatures magic, calling that in today into this cup of cacao. I can feel their energy. Feel so free. Eagle, hawk, vulture, crow, hummingbird, cardinal, dove, owl, and many more. Thank you. Gracias, gracias, gracias. I invite all of the spirit of water and the ocean animals, the energy of the spiral, bringing all of the beings in through this portal of the spiral into this cup of cacao. I invite my guides, I invite my ancestors. I bless this cacao with this transformational energy to anchor in me the change in my lineage, the evolution, the ascension. I feel the presence of both of my grandmas right now. I invite the love, the unconditional love of the grandmothers into this cup of cacao. Allow them to fill me with their love. Allow me to live life in the way that they may have not got to experience it in their generation and generations past. I invite them to shed all of their hardships and suffering and connect with me on the love frequency, on this beautiful earth, in this beautiful life that I get to live, even though they have passed on. I activate the water within my body. I activate my connection with the rivers and the streams and the oceans and all bodies of water, all the water that is in the clouds, in the atmosphere, and on earth. I allow you to move in and with me. Open me to every emotional experience that will create a higher vibration in my life, in my body. Gracias. 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 I invite in the element of earth, the crystal beings, the rock beings, this beautiful, beautiful planet that we live on. I invite all of the wisdom, all of the knowledge into this cup of cacao. I invite you to activate the wisdom and knowledge in my own DNA and my own body, in my memories of lives I've walked here on Earth, in my memories of other planets, knowing that you store all of this in you. So much gratitude for the way you support us, all of these humans, animals, plants, trees, vegetation, herbs. Oh, so much life. So much power in the matrix of the beautiful web that you've built, that we are all a part of. And I invite all of the wisdom and the beauty and the love and the energy of these crystals and rock beings, of Mama Earth, of the land, the vibrant life, into this cup of cacao, to keep me grounded, to keep me grounded in my body, to keep me grateful in every step that I take, that I have something sturdy to stand on, and that I can have this connection that reminds me to anchor the light on this planet for myself and every other being. Gracias, gracias, gracias. I bring in the element of fire. Able to really transmute any of the energies that want to be moved in me for my greatest good, for my highest good. This beautiful Palo Santo, again, bringing reverence to smoke medicine and the transformative energies of fire. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Next, I bring in the generations to come, the children. This is my daughter's umbilical cord. She's going to be 2 in June. I bring in all of the souls, the new souls coming to Earth, continuing to pave the way and raise the vibration for this new Earth we're creating. I bring in all of the unconditional love a mother has for her child. And what a blessing that is, to not only be life and have a body that sustains me, has sustained me for 38 years, but to be able to create life. Have the blessing of this transition into motherhood and this new role that I will never lose. I bring in the intention of any future souls that would like to bless me with their presence and arrival on this earth. I open the possibility and the intention of having 1 to 2 more children. I already feel a strong presence from a being, so I invite you into this cup of cacao if that's your decision today, so we can just connect and hang out. Be with Sophia Moana, who's already Earthside. The greatest thing that has ever happened in my life. What a gift it is that I, as a mother, get to experience this love and this light and this pure being, to watch her grow, to have the ability and the honor to teach her the new ways and to support her in her journey in an open and loving way, doing the best I can, of course. Bringing courageousness and responsibility into this cup of cacao as I continue to learn how to support her in the ways that she needs to be supported. Gracias, gracias, gracias. I invite all energies from above to come down, extraterrestrial beings, my guides, our guides, ascended masters, angels, the angelic realm, my soul family, the Pleiadians, the grandmothers, the sacred medicines, all of the sacred medicines, the particular ones I have been working with lately, Bufo, Alvarius, and Psilocybin, and Cacao. I invite you into this ceremonial cup of cacao. Gracias, gracias, gracias. And I hold this cacao at my heart space, connecting with the cacao spirit and all of the energy I have just put in this cup, with one more intention of activation, surrender, openness, allowance. I bring the cacao down to my abdomen, allowing my tendrils of loving connection to reach out in every direction towards the love, towards the light, pulling it back into my body as I drink this medicine, filling this space in me that was so powerfully cleared with love, light, connection to my soul family, living and non-living on this planet. Again, bringing the wisdom of my ancestors in, forgiveness, love, compassion. I bring this cup of cacao down to my pelvis, blessing my sex organs, blessing my root chakra, blessing my connection to this earth. Helping me to integrate on the deepest way possible, bring these energies down, allow them to really integrate into my cells, activate my DNA to create the version of the future me who is enough, who is powerful, who is of service, who has access to unconditional love and forgiveness and compassion in any given moment, and patience and resilience, who can anchor the light and be the lighthouse for all of those on this path of awakening. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Mm. 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 Thank you to anyone who has joined me for this video. Please leave a comment if you felt something move in you, what you learned. Is there something you could relate to? Please come and join us in the community. If you feel connected to me and the energy of this video, please come and join us. I would love nothing more than to continue spreading this medicine, the medicine of my words, the medicine of my love with the global community. Thank you for joining. I'll see you soon. Gracias. Gracias. Gracias.